Local boy wows overflow audience in Atlantic City. There it is. You hear that, pal?
You've said it out loud 5 times, yeah.
This is a real tribute, man. I do a gig in Atlantic City. I get written up in Port Charles. This is big time, pal, big time.
Blackie, let me tell you
I'm
something.
serious. I'm a celebrity in my hometown. I dig it.
Listen, I'm telling you, kid, knock it off. Don't you know the worst thing that can happen to a performer?
No, what?
When he starts believing his own publicity.
I can't help it if I'm a big star.
Listen, I'm serious. I've had it up to here with this star trip of yours. Smarten up, will you come down to earth?
Why should I?
Because I said so. And if you don't, then you can get out. You got it? Get lost.
Hello.
Hi, I had an idea you'd be in today. I'll write you a check for your full refund.
Oh, just 1 minute. What do you mean, a refund? I just stopped in to see if my friends had accepted the trip yet.
I haven't heard from them since they turned it down.
They'll change their minds.
May I make a suggestion?
Of course.
If you're so intent on treating your friends to this vacation, why don't you just speak to them directly?
I told you. I don't want them to know that I'm paying for it.
I understand, but since I haven't heard from them, I'll refund your money.
No, that will not be necessary.
But they don't want the vacation.
I realize that. But something may happen to make them change their minds. Oh, man, look at this. Jimmy, I don't know what happened. They were all safe when we stacked them last night. This is no accident. No, I can see that. It looks like somebody broke into the boxes and deliberately destroyed those tiles. Now that's a total loss. Man, you do something like that, huh?
Listen, kid. Either you get your head straight or get out.
Frisco, why don't you just admit it? You're jealous.
Of you?
Yeah.
Man, how stupid can you be? I've seen a dozen kids like you who think that they've made it. Then all of a sudden, boom, they start taking the big slide down the hill, you know?
Oh.
Don't think it won't happen to you either, because it will.
Actually, lies. You're a big fan.
No. I'm just smarter than you are.
Oh, you're smarter than me, are. I tell you who's smart. The guy who did that concert in Atlantic City who got that great write-up. That's who's smart.
Blackie, get out of the dream world, huh? That's one gig, man. One
in a long line of them. And each one's gonna be better than the last one, I promise you.
Don't kid yourself. Do you know how many kids there are out there just like you, man? Oh, sure, they get a gig. They get good reviews. All of a sudden, they're big winners, right? That's what they think.
Yeah, like me, a big winner.
Exactly like you. Only, Blackie, it doesn't last, man. I'm telling you this for your own good. 1 in 1,000, man. They don't make it.
Oh,
You understand?
I'll tell you what I understand. This is what I understand, Frisco. Let me show you. I understand this, pal. I understand this write-up, okay? You're jealous. And I'll tell you another thing. You might be right. I don't need to live here. I'm going downstairs, okay? I'm gonna buy the biggest suite in this place. How's that grab you?
I think it's typical.
You do, huh? I'll be back for my stuff.
Fine.
Oh, is it okay if I take your paper? I mean, this is your paper.
Baby, you can have the whole thing.
Thank you so much. Do you see this front page?
What's another picture of you?
Health commissioner accused of accepting a bribe. It's Rick.
So?
I was so busy looking at my thing, I didn't even look at the front page.
Figures.
Man, they must be real... Oh, no.
You think it's true?
No, it's not true. I'm going to the hospital.
Now, what for?
Because they must need my help. They must be worried that... Goodbye.
Listen, what happened to that call to Brock? All right, keep trying. Yeah. Listen, something else. You call the paper and get Jackie Templeton. You tell her that I want her in my office now.
ready to kill someone.
Oh, sorry, love. I didn't hear you come in.
Am I interrupting something?
No, not yet.
I was just shopping, and I thought I'd pop in and say hello.
Oh, look, I can't take you to lunch, love. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. I'm having lunch with Celia later on at the gatehouse. Is something annoying you?
Well, that's putting it mildly. You read the paper this morning?
No, I was in a hurry. I didn't get a chance to read it.
Jackie Templeton's written this article about Brock, claiming that he is the patron saint of Port Charles and out to expose corruption.
Oh, and who does he say is corrupt?
Rick Weber.
Rick Weber? Robert, that's preposterous.
Well, it's all here in the story. She claims that Rick accepted a bribe from one of Brock's employees.
Well, this is ridiculous. You certainly don't believe it, do you?
Of course I don't. The point is, though, that this is a criminal offense. I mean, why wasn't this office informed of it?
Have you asked?
I've been trying to get through to Brock all morning. His line's busy. However, I did call the paper. Jackie Templeton's coming in for a little questioning.
Questions that she won't answer. She'll hide behind her usual excuse that she won't reveal her sources.
No problem. It's all there in the story. I mean, she quotes Brock all the way through it.
Can you go after him?
I can try. Look, he was a private citizen, accusing one of these city commissioners of a criminal offense. Add to that the fact that he's aided and abetted by a journalist with rather questionable principles. Damn right I'm going after them.
No, I've heard enough right now. We'll talk about it later, all right? The other guy doesn't even have any common sense.
Who was that?
The night watchman. He finally admitted that he got knocked out last night.
Here at the site?
Yeah, that's right. Here, get a load of this. He said they didn't want to tell me because he figured he might lose his job. Well, I got news for him. He has lost his job.
Look, I don't blame you.
Well, what about the tiles? Can you replace them?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to take some doing. Delivery's going to take about 5 days. In the meantime, my friend, you got 5 days off. I'm going to miss that money.
Grant, I'm keeping you and the rest of the crew on salary.
Just a second, that's not fair to you.
It's for my protection, man.
You guys know how to lay this tile. I don't want anybody taking on another job.
Jimmy Lee, I really am sorry about those tiles. Don't get me wrong, but as for the 5 days off with pay, I know someone who will think that is just terrific.
You have said these things to Jackie Templeton. You know they're not true.
All I know is what Ginny Blake told me, and that's it, you know. I mean, Rick Weber, he asked for a bribe and he took it.
This is absolutely ridiculous. Rick Weber is not that kind of a person. He doesn't need the money. This whole thing is a lie.
Don't look at me. Ask Ginny Blake.
All right, that's another thing. If Ginny Blake thought Rick Weber was asking for a bribe, why didn't she come to you and tell you about it?
Well, I don't know. I guess she thought she was doing a favor for Delise Gourmet Foods.
Why should she? Who's Ginny Blake, anyway?
She's an officer at ARB Finance, which is the mother company for Delise Gourmet Foods.
That still doesn't explain why you had to go ahead and give this story to the paper.
I didn't have to give the story to the paper. I wanted to. I felt it was my duty.
Your duty?
That's right. Rick Weber is an appointed official, and if he's on the take, then it's every citizen's duty to report him.
Brock, come on. This is me you're talking to. Rick Weber isn't going to take a bribe. He doesn't need the money.
I got news for you, baby. Everybody needs the money, even your precious Rick Weber. Don't forget about his wife's gambling debts in the old days. When I had the casino, she dropped a bundle. Now, you don't know who else she owes money to, when she lost it, how much money. You don't know.
You're going to have to get that. I'm late for the hospital. Doesn't make any sense to me.
I can't help you with that. You'd have to speak to the hospital administrator. Yeah, that's Dan Rennie. No, it's okay. You're welcome. Bye.
Dr. Barrows reports life being stabbed. Dr. Barrows reports life being stabbed.
Jesse, do you have any idea how embarrassing this thing is?
Amy, why don't you do some work? It might help you and me.
You know, I came downstairs this morning and I couldn't even believe my eyes. I'm so glad that Rick and Lesley aren't going to see it.
What do you mean they aren't going to see it? Why not?
I brought this to work with me on purpose. I didn't want them to see it and get upset this morning.
Amy, that is so foolish. You're only delaying the inevitable.
Maybe so, Jesse, but I truly believe what you don't know can't hurt you. And if you would be nice, since they're here, please don't show it to them.
They have a right to know.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Cold
It is
morning out
that.
there, let me tell you. Any messages, Jesse?
Yeah, you have a couple. There's something I'd like to show you first.
What? What?
I'm assuming you have not read the newspaper this morning.
You must be clairvoyant. I think the paper boy missed us. We spent 10 minutes out there in the cold looking behind bushes to see if he'd thrown it somewhere strange.
What is it?
Here it is. It's in the right-hand column there.
What is that?
Well, let me
What
read
is-
it. Look, just... Incredible.
I know it would have been much, but if anybody believes that, they're out of their minds.
Jesse's right. Everybody knows that it can't possibly be true, really. You've read this? Earlier.
I want to finish this.
Wait. Let me see.
Dr. Obama, orthopedic.
I see you've read it.
Just now.
Dr. Obama.
You know, the thing that makes me the maddest is the way that woman used Mike. She didn't care anything about him except as a way to make those ridiculous charges against Rick.
Maybe ridiculous charges, Ruby, but the people who read this aren't going to know that. And at the same time, I am accused of a felony. That's something I have to take care of.
Yes, you do. What are you going to do about it?
Cover all the bases. First, I'll have to tell Steve and Lee Baldwin that it's definitely false.
Well, I'm sure they know that.
But I should tell them person to person. And I should also tell Robert Scorpio.
Rick, you don't deserve this. And having poor little Mike just dragged into this. I feel sorry for Bobby. I mean, that woman works for Brock. Bobby has to be so upset.
There are holes all the way through this story. Please, whatever we say, let's just keep it in the family for now.
Of course. As far as I'm concerned, they're lies from beginning to end.
Yeah, but it was a very good part. Nowhere in here does it mention the fact that Ginny Blake is Mike's mother. Now, that's something I would like to keep from him as long as possible.
You're absolutely right. She used him. Plain and simply, she used him.
But my whole defense is based on the fact that she was trying to take him away from us. That's my entire defense. But I want to keep that between the authorities and myself until the last minute.
Okay, but I think you should talk to Jake right away.
I'm going to.
Don't put my jacket. All right, thanks. Here. Thanks. I'm trying to get here. Hang on. Okay, wait. I'm trying.
Well, what in the blazes is going on, Blackie?
They just want my autograph. That's all, you know.
Is that so?
Yeah.
All of you out.
You guys better leave.
Out.
Sorry.
Did you hear me?
That's
This is
all
a
right.
hospital, not a rock
See you later.
concert. Now
Bye.
get out before I call security. Go on.
Sorry, girls.
Man.
Next time, young man, leave your fans outside.
Sorry, Doc. You know, it just goes with the territory, huh, Jess? You know how it is.
right.
Is Doc around?
Over there.
Thank you. Doc, I saw the paper.
Join the club.
Yeah, I'm real
Blackie?
sorry. If there's anything I could do, just holler.
Thanks.
Dr. Leslie Weber to 7 West. Dr. Leslie Weber to 7 West. Staff.
Oh, I gotta go. Okay, sweetie, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I ride up in the elevator with you?
See you later. Oh, Doc, that's a lousy story. I'm sorry.
Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for offering to help. I appreciate it.
Anytime, buddy.
Well, if I need it, I'll just holler. In the meantime, you better concentrate on your own career. That's a full-time job in itself.
Yeah, it's going great, too. Did you read the paper? That story on me?
I had time to read one and try to reread it, and that's all.
Oh,
Sorry.
Well, I talked about the show and everything, and, you know, the thing we did in Atlantic City. I mean, it was great. You should have seen it. All these people were screaming and yelling. Then we'd go off stage, right? We're all sweating and everything. Girls are back there, reporters. It was unbelievable.
That's great. Not the fact that the girls were there, but that you're doing so well, you're moving up.
Oh,
that is
thanks.
good.
Oh, it's going good, man. I can feel it in my bones. I'm going straight to the top.
You got any contracts yet?
No, I was talking to Steffi about it. Oh, you know what? Steffi loaned me some money. I bought a new car. You should see it. It's the coolest looking car. You got to see it.
That's great, Blackie. It is, but you gotta get that contract so Jake can look at it again and so I can see it.
All right. Well, I've been thinking a lot about that, Doc. I'm going to do it.
But please, for your own sake, don't take this that lightly.
I'm not. Steffi's honest. You got to understand.
You know how I feel about Steffi. Even if she is honest, you gotta realize sometimes honest people get into big trouble. Prime example of that right now myself.
Okay. Well, keep me posted. Thank you. Sorry about that. Well, some story, huh?
It's revolting. I don't believe one word of it.
Alas, a lot of readers will.
Yes, but it's nonsense. In the first place, Rick Weber isn't that kind of man. And in the second place, what would he want with the bride? I mean, he's not exactly poor.
Well, excuse me, love. Yeah. Oh, she is she? Listen, give me a minute, will you, then send her in. Poison Pen Templeton's here.
In that case, I'll make a quick exit. But, you know, she won't give you an inch.
Well, in that case, I'm going to have to crack this case in spite of her. You know what really galls me here? I have a lot of real police work to do in this place. I mean, I've got numerous other cases, I've got this Campbell business, and now I have this mess to contend with.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
For the record, I am here under protest.
Noted.
But it seemed a lot easier than stalling you.
A lot easier for both of us. Now, do you care to explain that story in the paper this morning?
Robert, what do I have to explain? Brock gave me a good story, and I printed it.
Did he show you any proof of his allegations?
That's privileged information.
I want an answer. Now, who is this woman that gave Rick a bribe, allegedly?
She is an employee of Brock's, and I make it perfectly clear in my story.
How do I find her?
I have no idea.
Well, doesn't that bother you just a little bit that you can't produce the key witness who's the essence of your whole story?
She's not my concern. I wrote what Brock claimed and proved. That's the extent of my responsibility.
Yeah, well, just hang on to your notes and tapes. A judge may want to have a look at them.
And if I refuse?
You've heard of contempt of court.
Oh, yes, Robert, I know what contempt is very well. It's that familiar feeling I get every time I'm around you.
It's also what a judge will cite you with if you don't hand over your notes.
I'll take my chances. May I go?
One more thing.
What?
Stay in touch.
Stay in touch. Don't be shy, Commissioner. Press is always available to you.
Greg was one of my all-time favorites. Whew. Was she her usual cooperative self?
Of course. But then again, I didn't expect much else.
Tell me, Robert, have you talked to the mayor? You know, I've been wondering about what his position will be on all this.
Yeah, I spoke to Lee briefly this morning. Unfortunately, we never had time to get into it.
Yeah, but you will later.
Tomorrow. Tied up for the rest of the day on some speech he's going to give tonight.
You know, that story really puts the mayor on the spot. After all, he is responsible for the people he's appointed, and Rick Weber is one of his appointees.
Yeah, I know. But hopefully when we discuss this again, I'll have something a little more solid for him.
I know what you mean. Then maybe by tomorrow you can talk to Brock.
Well, I've been trying to get through to the guy for the last few hours.
What about that woman, Ginny Baker?
I want to talk to Blake. I want to talk to her, too. Reminds me. Listen, have you reached Brock yet? I see. Well, you let me know, won't you? Thank you. Line's still busy.
Already took it off the hook.
Look, why don't we stop mucking about with this guy? Just send a car around and drag him in.
Oh, I'd love it. That'll be my pleasure.
And tell him this, will you? That if he's going to start leveling criminal accusations at people, that he's going to have to deal with me.
Okay.
Grant, what are you doing here?
Something
happened?
No, of course nothing's happened. Well, actually, yes, something has happened, but in an odd way, something good.
Tell me, somebody coming for lunch?
Holly.
Yeah?
Something good? Why? Tell me.
Well, guess who has gotten 5 days off with pay? It's an unfortunate circumstance, but I'll tell you about that later. The most important thing is, do you think that ski trip to Mount Alpine is still available?
Grant, we can go?
You bet we can go.
Wonderful. Oh, it's got to be available. I'll call her right now. I have the number still. I didn't throw it away.
Well, woman, what are you waiting
for? That's great. Oh.
Just wait until they catch our act on those slopes.
Oh. She said she'd keep it for a couple of days. Wouldn't give it to anyone else. I hope she meant it. Hello. This is Miss Celia Andrews. I was hoping by some chance that you kept that trip to Mount Alpine open.
You couldn't have called at a better time, Mrs. Andrews. Indeed, the vacation is available.
Are you saying you can make it after all? I certainly am. That's wonderful. Well, I'll stop by your office tomorrow. And until then, thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to my husband and me.
I'm delighted to hear it.
Thank you again.
Are we set?
We're set.
We're set.
Definitely.
All right, we're set. We're set. We're set.
Oh, isn't it great how things work out sometimes?
Well, this was obviously meant to be. Look, I think that our skis are still up in the main house. Why don't I go get them?
Okay, I'd go with you, but I should take care of lunch. Holly's going to be here any minute.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute.
What?
I have got a brilliant idea.
Well, all of your ideas are brilliant. What is this particular one?
Why don't we ask Holly and Robert to go with us? Wouldn't that be fun, the four of us?
You know something? That's a brilliant idea. Do you think that they can get time away?
Well, I don't know. I'll ask her at lunch.
Good. And I'm going to get the skis.
Good.
Me again.
I was just going to try and reach you. I've got good news.
Oh? What is that?
You were right after all. Your friends just called and accepted the vacation.
I had a feeling they might.
So you said. I just don't understand how you could be so sure.
It's all in the planning. If you plan things properly, they usually work out the way you want them to.
Well, they certainly have for you. Now, what about your own plans? Is there anything I can do to help you?
In what way?
Travel arrangements? I'd be glad to get you the very best.
No, I appreciate that, but my plans are all made. Everything is taken care of.